Measure app. What it does is basically you can measure any surface. You can measure the surface area. You can also measure how level something is. And so instead of using a ruler, you can use this app. And it does this using augmented reality. This app is only available on iOS 12 phones and above, and it will also be automatically downloaded on those phones. So basically what we're gonna do is just show how to use this app. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the length of this table, as you can see. So if you see this circle and then the dot in the middle, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it up right at the edge of the table, and then I'm gonna press the plus sign right there, and then I'm gonna drag it, my phone, all the way across to the other side. Then I'm gonna press the plus sign again, and then if I go to the middle, it's gonna show me 27.5 inches. And so that's the length of the table. As you can see, it also shows it in centimeters. And if I want to, I can copy it and just press the copy button, and that measurement will be copied and I'll have it for later. Okay, so let's say, for instance, as you can see, this is a little bit off because it moved. If I want to adjust it because I didn't correctly put it on the spot, what I can do is I can just put my finger on this and adjust it to the end of the table, perfect. And then 29, so that's more of an accurate one. Oh, and this needs to be adjusted a little more too, so sometimes it can move around. But basically, gives me, okay, the correct measurement, and I can adjust it so it can be perfectly on there. Okay, so let's say I want to measure something else. I can press the clear button at the top right, and it will clear that measurement. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test this out with a ruler, because I can test out how accurate it is, and that's really important. So I'm going to go measure it in inches on this ruler right here. So I'm going to go here, start at the 0, press the plus button. Okay, then I'm going to drag it all the way across till I get here, press it again, 11.5 inches. So as you can see, this is a 12-inch ruler. One of the biggest cons of this app is that it's not perfectly accurate at measuring things. What a lot of people say is that it's about 1 inch off and about, or half an inch off and about 1 centimeter off. So that's just one of the cons of it. So I would say if you need like really, really accurate measurements, this app is not the best utility. Maybe use a ruler, but if it's something that could be like maybe an inch or 2 off, this app is very useful. So I don't want to copy that. I can just press the X right there. And then we can also check this on the centimeter side. So I'm going to press clear, flip this around, and go right here, press the plus button. I'm going to drag all the way across and press the other plus sign. That's 12 right there. But as you can see, I did make a couple of mistakes on this side. It's a little bit farther than usual. So that is a mistake that I made. So as you can see, this app is a little bit inaccurate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this pen, and then I'm going to check it with the ruler. And so this is a thing that a lot of people do just to see if their measurements are perfectly correct. And it can be useful for this app since it's not always the most accurate. So you can press the plus button all the way across, press the plus again, 5.5 inches. Okay, I can see it there. And then I can X out, clear, press the clear button, and then I can test it with this ruler. Just get it measured there. Okay. So, yeah, about 0.25, I guess, but it's a little bit difficult to measure that pen, so that's just another way you can check your measurements. Another very useful appliance of this app is that if it sees or recognizes a rectangle, it will automatically give you the length and width and then also the surface area. So here I have a MacBook Pro and I just put it over it, and as you can see, it gives me the length and the width of this, and then also in the center, it will give me the surface area of it. And as you can see, it also gives me the diagonals if I press on it and how it's calculated, and also the different units. So that's very helpful for this app. Okay, so I can also test it on. I have a box right here. Okay, gotta move this. Though I have to clear that. And then on this box, now I can see it gives me the length, width, square feet, and then this shows how you can get it, the diagonals, and also the different units. So I don't need that measurement. So I click the X button, and then I'm going to clear. So as you can see, this is very useful for measuring things with the ruler, and also seeing surface area and being able to calculate those things very easily, and not, with a ruler it usually takes a lot longer. Another very useful appliance of this app is if you press the level button. It's on the other side of the measure. Down below here you can see measure and then level. If I press level, what it will do is it will test how level things are. So I'm going to place this on a table, and right now it says it's 0 degrees. So basically this is saying that the table is level, and it will turn green. As you can see, the app will turn green when it is level. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on a wall and see if the wall is level, and it will turn, the bottom half will turn green when it's vertically level. So as you can see right now, I have the table level. This also has a lot of other appliances, just seeing not just how level like a wall or a table is, but also just how many degrees something has. So if I'm putting it here, I can try to get 45 degrees off a surface. I can also just test how many 0 degrees it is, or how accurate it is. So that has many appliances for construction and just for so many different things. And then once you get from level and go back to measure, it's important to move it around so it gets accustomed to the new area. Okay, so those are two of the most important appliances here. Another thing that's useful about the Measure app is that if I go to settings, and I already typed in measure here, but I can press measure and it will give me a choice between imperial and metric settings. In the US, we use imperial units of measure, but in a lot of countries, and a lot more today and just always, we use the metric unit. And so say if you're in a different country and you need to measure something, or you need to use the metric system of measurement, you can press metric. You can also, it also just shows in a lot of different places. So now we're on the metric system, and we can go back to the Measure app, and we can, we gotta move it around again just to get it accustomed, and then we can go and measure this table. And as you can see, it will show it to me in centimeters instead of inches. So if that's what you need metric, then you can do that. Okay, then we can clear it. Now, another useful thing about this app is, let's say I want to take a picture of my measurement. So let's say I just measure this ruler again. Go all the way here. Okay, 30 centimeters. What I can do is, to the right of the plus sign is this picture thing, and if I press it, it will take a picture of it, and then I can just swipe left, and that will save the picture. And then also, if I want to do it, so let's just take another picture, I can press on it, and I can mark it up just to show the measurements. So I can press done, and let's just delete that screenshot. So that's very useful about this app. And sometimes you just need to move it around after it does a measurement to get it back to being accustomed to the area. So those are all the appliances of this metric or of this Measure app. In general, in terms of pros and cons, I would say the pros is that it has a lot of real world appliances or applications. It can measure lots of different things, and Even though it might be a little bit off, it is still pretty accurate. And so it can be used in a lot of different circumstances, especially since you don't always have your ruler with you. And so you might need to use your cell phone, which most people more have with them instead of a ruler. So it can be very useful for that case. In terms of cons, it is about 1/2 inch off, which if you need to, as I said before, if you need to measure something that needs to be accurate, that can definitely be a problem. So I would say if something needs to be very accurate, then use a ruler. But if it's just something that, it could be 1 inch or 2 off, then this app is definitely very useful. So in general, I would give the app a rating of a 7 out of 10, just because it is very useful in a lot of circumstances, but there is some cons that it's not always the most accurate for certain situations. So thank you, and that was the video.